Is it anybody's guess? I think it really is, and we're just going to have to see what sort of policy changes happen in the new year. Bryson, Wells Fargo Securities. Confidence rose among British consumers in the month of December, coming in at -7. Although confidence is still in the negative territory, do you think the closer we get to Article 50 being activated and more details surrounding Brexit are made clear, confidence will rise?
Well, it's kind of difficult to say exactly what's going to happen there with confidence, because it's really difficult to know, exactly what the negotiations going forward look like. I mean, my sense would be that, the softer the Brexit is, the more positive reaction you're going to get in financial markets, and potentially the more positive reaction you're going to get in terms of business, spending and investment there. And so a softer Brexit, if you have a positive influence in the financial markets, I think that's good for consumer confidence. Conversely, if you have a hard sort of Brexit, where the negotiations drag on for a long period of time and become very acrimonious, that's not, I don't think, real good for confidence. So we're really going to have to see how that all plays out.
Canada posted its inflation figures today, which showed a yearly rise of 1.2%, missing market forecasts. Do you think this figure is a reflection on the current health of Canada's economy? And do you forecast further underperforming inflation statistics?
Well, so tomorrow will be interesting, because tomorrow we're going to get the GDP number for October, and that's expected to be roughly flat in October. Now, that follows 4 months of pretty solid gains there. But in general, if you look at the Canadian economy right now, it's growing a little bit less than 2%, and that's a little bit sluggish sort of growth. And so these lower than expected inflation numbers today out of Canada are somewhat of a reflection of that. It seems like growth here in the United States remains solid. It's the U.S. is one of Canada's major trading partners, and growth around the world may be strengthening a little bit as well. And so as we go into next year, we do believe that growth in Canada will start to firm a little bit, and that you're not going to see tremendous underperformance in terms of inflation. But we're at a point, though, where the Bank of Canada is probably not going to be raising rates anytime soon. Unlike the Federal Reserve here in the United States, I think they want to see a little bit stronger data coming out of Canada and higher inflation rates there, before they would start to think about raising rates.
Jay, it has been an eventful year for the United States, and 2017 looks to be the same. Today, final GDP figures for Q3 showed a growth of 3.5%, which was better than anticipated. Do you think the US economy will continue to show strength for the next quarter and for 2017? Or is it like a lot of things at the moment, it's anyone's guess?
Right. Well, so in terms of next the current quarter, the fourth quarter, I'd be very stunned if we repeat a 3.5% sort of GDP growth rate. Part of what happened in the third quarter was you had a one-time surge in soybean exports, because apparently the soybean crop in South America was very, very weak this year, and so American soybean producers made up the difference, and that helped lift the GDP growth rate. That's just kind of a one-off effect. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the current data, it looks like the U.S. economy is probably going to grow, roughly 2% or so annualized pace here in the fourth quarter. You're looking into 2017. You said, is that anyone's guess? I think that really is. I mean, since the election of Donald Trump, the financial markets have kind of been all bulled up about potential fiscal stimulus here in the United States, maybe some deregulation, things of that nature. I mean, we're going to have to really wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see, what exactly the new administration proposes in terms of policy changes, and then, are those policy changes actually adopted or legislated by the U.S. Congress? So there's certainly some upside risk to the U.S. economy. You could certainly get a growth rate in 2017 that's, significantly stronger than this 2% run rate that we've been at for the last few years. But conversely, there's also some pretty major downside risk as well, in terms of relations with the rest of the world. And so, is it anybody's guess? I think it really is. And we're just going to have to see, what sort of policy changes happen in the new year.
Thank you for your time today, Jay. That's all for today's weekly wrap-up. We at Dukascopy TV hope you have a lovely Christmas, and we'll see you next time.